All right. Good afternoon, everybody. Welcome to Plymouth Fall Festival 2015. We are the Plymouth Fife and Drum Corps. Yes, thank you. All right, so we'll play a little bit, then I'll tell you a little bit more about the corps as we go. All right, so let me just start out by saying that the corps is made up of all local students, not necessarily just from Plymouth, but from any of the surrounding communities. We hold practices here in Plymouth every Monday night, so if anybody who can make it to Plymouth on a Monday night can be in the corps. So it's not just a Plymouth thing, or it's not even a school-associated thing. We're just a local group of musicians. We get together, we travel throughout the state of Michigan each summer to various festivals. Obviously, we're in the 4th of July parade here in Plymouth. That's one of our favorites. We also travel all around the state, and in fact, all over the East Coast in the summer. And I'll tell you a little bit more about our summer that we had in a few minutes. So let's start out. We're going to start out with a song called Newport. All right, just a short little single tune. Have at it. All right, so back in the Revolutionary days, the fifes and drums were used to relay commands on the battlefield. They were used to provide entertainment in the camps at night also. So our next medley of tunes is a medley of colonial dance tunes called Lamplighter's Hornpipe, Stillman's Reel, Fireman's Reel, and President Garfield's Hornpipe in a medley we call the Reel Hornpipe Medley. right, thank you. I'll tell you a little bit more about the group. The Fife and Drum Corps was formed right here in Plymouth in 1971, so we are in our 44th year. The Corps plays both ancient and modern musical arrangements. So you might hear some old melodies, old tunes, but maybe with some additional Fife harmonies, or definitely some new, more modern drumming. So that last medley was an example of that. Definitely some modern snare drumming with some old, ancient melodies. The Corps wears the uniform of General George Washington's Life Guard, kind of before there was a Secret Service, and before he was president, the General Washington had a Life Guard unit to protect him. And so this is the uniform that guard wore. And what's interesting about that is that the actual unit the musicians wore opposite colors of the day. So the regular regiment coats would be mainly red with blue facings. And the musicians wore opposite colors, so they would stand out in battle, hopefully not get hit or captured or anything like that. So their uniforms were opposite their regimental colors. So, and they also, the problem with that is the main unit was red, and everybody associates red with the British, of course. So we decided to go with the actual, the infantry uniform of blue. So anyway, so that's a little bit about our uniforms. And again, that dates from 1783. And something I've learned along our travels is that you often see George Washington pictured in a blue coat with the buff, the tan facings. And that is what he wore earlier on in the war. But towards the end, his troops, they ran out of that buff tan material, and they stole a bunch of material from the redcoats and used that as part of the uniform. So the red in here is actually stolen material from the British at the time, and that became the uniform at the end of the war. So like I said, our Corps members range in age from 12 to 18, so we're as young as 6th grade up through senior year in high school. And we just had a batch of seniors leave us for college, and they are not here with us today. They are off exploring and getting on with the rest of their lives. They can be with us for up to 6 seasons throughout their junior high and high school years. And in that time, we travel, like I said, throughout Michigan, but we also travel throughout the East Coast. Each summer, we carry the name of Plymouth all along the East Coast to Fife and Drum gatherings called musters. So at these Fife and Drum musters, the name of Plymouth, Michigan is known because of these guys. We carry the name of Plymouth all throughout the East, and they are definitely recognized as one of the top tier junior corps, because Fife and Drum out East is mainly, it's an adult, just gathering on the weekends, getting together with buddies and playing. And so we are quite different in that we do it with junior high and high school kids. And we do it, I must say, we do it quite well. So, and that is recognized throughout the Fife and Drum community. We've also played at places like Independence Hall, Mount Vernon, Valley Forge. Next year, we're thinking about going back to the Village Green at Lexington and the Old North Bridge in Concord, Massachusetts. This year, though, just, boy, it seems like a long time ago, but it was only about a month ago, the Corps played at the Statue of Liberty and at the 9/11 Memorial in New York City. So if you saw any of the ceremonies that were there yesterday, we were just there a few weeks ago, and it is quite a moving sight. So yeah, we played at the 9/11 in New York City. We went down the coast and we played in Washington, D.C. at the U.S. Capitol building. We played at the Lincoln Memorial and at the U.S. Army's Twilight Tattoo ceremony in Fort Myer, Virginia, which is just an awesome spectacle put on by the U.S. Army, and we were lucky enough to be able to be a part of that ceremony, which was very special. So we'll get on with some music now. I told you some of the music is modern, some of it is more, I guess, true to the ancient old manuscripts. This next one is an example of that. It's a medley made up of the tunes Power of Whiskey, The Slow March, Merry Men, Home from the Grave, and Constitution Hornpipe, in a medley we call the Whiskey Rebellion. All right, I had to check with him to make sure we could do this next one, since we didn't rehearse it earlier. Okay, but this next tune was the original national anthem of the United States. So before the Star Spangled Banner became our official national anthem, and actually it only became official very late, only in 1931 was when it became our official national anthem. But before that time, and the reason they had to make it official, because there were other tunes that had been played at ceremonies. America the Beautiful was one of them, I think, that was starting to catch on. But this other song, this next song, was considered the national anthem during the colonial days. So this was what they had. The Star Spangled Banner hadn't been written yet. That poem was going to be written in the War of 1812. So during the Revolution, this next song was considered the national anthem. So it is called Chester. So, Fifes, move. 1, 2, 3, play. All right, that was Chester. Okay, our next medley, during our show for the summertime, and if you saw us here right at the end of July before we left on our tour in August, this next song was used for our color guard feature. So unfortunately today, we're on the band shell and we can't do all our normal moves, but this was the song that our color guard got their feature to, and they got to do quite a complex marching routine. And I can tell you, I'm sure, I know the silent drill team and the Army's Fife and Drum Corps in Washington, D.C. were duly impressed with our marching. And I know their commander turned to some of his troops and said, "You guys are all fired. These are who I want." So I know we impressed the Army guys with our marching, so that was good. But this next tune is called our Soldier's Call medley. It's tunes that the titles at least, remind us of the ups and downs of life as a colonial soldier. The titles are Soldier's Joy, Harriet, The Girl I Left Behind Me, and Empty Pockets. All right, thank you. All right, so I guess before we continue and then begin to wrap things up today, I want to, I guess, remind you of the Corps has a booth over here right on Main Street. We're the almond booth, so that beautiful, lovely smell you are smelling wafting over here. Follow that over there. You can buy some almonds to support the Corps. You can also, I think we have CDs for sale, and you can just come on over and talk to us and support the Corps. Another thing, though, if I see some people out there who may be of middle school or high school age, or will soon be there. If you are at all interested in joining the Corps, our season runs pretty much with the start of the school year and then through the following summer. So like I said, we're just kind of wrapping up our summer season now and beginning to look forward to the fall and beginning a new season and welcoming in any new members. So obviously, we know that people don't know how to play the fife. Nobody comes to us already knowing how to play the fife. So we teach you how to do that. And generally, nobody knows how to play drums like we do, and we teach that. But our musicians come from, I guess, from all walks of life, from being in school band. And what are some of the instruments you guys play? All right, I'm hearing alto sax, trumpet, flute, flute obviously, tuba we have. So these guys don't play, obviously they don't play fife in school band, and some of these drummers don't play drums in school band. They do other things, but we teach you how to do that. And so we practice on Monday nights down at Salem High School throughout the year, on just once a week, and then in the summers, that's when we start to travel. We get outdoors. We get all throughout the state of Michigan, like I said, and even all over the East Coast in the summer. So if you're at all interested in being a part of just a great, outstanding organization, and I think one of the jewels of our community here is the Plymouth Fife and Drum Corps. We are very unique. I mean, not many cities can say, hey, we have our own Fife and Drum Corps that travels around the country with our name. So that's I think, a great thing about Plymouth, and something that I really enjoy being here year after year and getting to play for a hometown audience. It's kind of rare for us. I mean, we're playing all these other places, but we do love to come back in, certainly for the 4th of July parade and for the Fall Festival to perform for you guys. So again, if anybody is interested in joining the Corps, or if you know somebody who might be interested, we'll probably be visiting a lot of the middle school band programs throughout the next few weeks, handing out information. But we'll have an informational, just organizational meeting on Monday, October 19th, down at Salem High School, 7 o'clock. So if you know of anyone who might be interested, if you have a child or grandchild, or if you yourself are out there in the 12 to 18 age range, if you want to do something pretty awesome with your summer and become a top-notch musician and performer while you're doing it, we'd love to have you out. So please, and it's like I said, it's open to everybody. You don't have to be a Plymouth resident. You don't have to go to Plymouth schools. We're completely independent from all that stuff. So come on out and see us on October 19th, or just come over to the Almond booth and talk to us, because we'd love to talk to you. And if you like our music, we have CDs for sale. We have lots of stuff online too. If you go to iTunes, you can find our music online. In fact, we get lots of downloads each month. Really, we're pretty popular in Australia and New Zealand for some reason. Or actually, former British colonies tend to buy our music online. So we get iTunes sales from all over the world, which is usually, which is really pretty cool. All right, so we're going to end up here today with our salute to the men and women of the U.S. military. This song is called our Old Guard medley. The Old Guard is the Army's 3rd Infantry Regiment. They are the group that comprise the soldiers that guard the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier in Arlington. That is the Old Guard. They have a Fife and Drum Corps in that. We have a couple alums, actually, Plymouth people who are in that group. They play for the president, they play for dignitaries in Washington, and it is probably about the best job you can get in the U.S. Army, is to play fife and drum for visiting presidents. I don't think it gets any better than that. So that's another thing. If you go through and if you can go to the Army, say at age 18 or 19, with the skills of a fifer, as soon as you finish boot camp, you get an immediate promotion. And they pay very well for this skill, I can tell you that. You can attain a rank that would normally take up to 10 years to achieve as a regular Army infantryman. With the highly specialized skill of fifing, you can get there within about a year. And we actually have a member from our Corps who joined the Old Guard Fife and Drum in Washington in 1997. She is only about, less than 2 years now from retiring. So, playing fife for 20 years in the U.S. Army and gets to retire on a full pension before age 40. So that's how special this skill is. And the fingering is the same as alto sax. So if you play alto sax, hey, you got an in. So this next tune, I'll get back to this, is our Old Guard medley. This is our salute to the men and women of the U.S. military, the 3rd Regiment, made up of the tunes 1st of September, the Duke of York's March, and of course you can't be a fife and drum corps without playing Yankee Doodle. Okay, so this is our Old Guard medley. All right, once again, thank you very much. If you'd like to come, we're over at the almond booth here. Come out and talk to us. We'll have some Corps members there throughout the day. Sample some almonds and support the Fife and Drum Corps. So thank you once again.